Back, everybody. This is actually the second time I'm making this video because my computer crashed in the first time. So I played in the Tournament City Games event in Frederick, Maryland, hosted by Sekrit. And um, this is a game that I actually had on stream, and I felt like it would be interesting to actually go over the game, talk about the reasons I made the plays I did, the commentators who were actually really good at the game, right? It's Alexander the Greatest, who's a KTOD guy, I believe, and Lego Pizza, who's a Bothan Network guy. Um, they had some commentary on the game, and I felt like, they had some questions, they had some comments, they had some, why did I do this? And I felt like it would be interesting to, like, kind of react to what they said, maybe give answers, maybe talk about the plays that I did. So, a lot of this is going to be me, like, reacting and then, like, giving a commentary on, like, what they were saying, or talking about some of the play lines I did if they're talking about the other player. Um, so I'll put on screen now, like, the deck that I brought, and then at the end I'll talk about maybe some of the changes I would make going into Galactics, which I do think I'm bringing Avar Kriss to Galactics. I just find the deck so fun. Even if I'm not gonna do, amazing things with her, I still think she's a lot of fun. So, um, I think the best thing to do is actually, you've seen the deck list. I'll put it in the description below, and we're gonna get going. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna try and make a bunch of cuts or any of that. You're gonna hear a lot of ums. You're gonna hear a lot of me saying dumb things. But I accidentally just stopped my recording software, and so there's gonna be a cut there. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a moron. We're gonna go ahead and get started.
None other than everybody's favorite trophy husband, Alex the Greatest Blandon. Alex, how are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Interested to see what people have cooked up that isn't Han 2. So that's gonna or Red Force deck. So that's exciting, and I think we actually picked a pretty good match for that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have Mother Talzin Green versus Avar Kriss Red.
We got the formula half right there, but at least Avar Kriss isn't something we've seen yet before. So that's
Yeah. All right, calm down a little bit. Avar Kriss Red is pretty cool, Alex. All right, calm down.
gonna be kind of an interesting one. Um, I do actually kind of like Avar Kriss's front side. I've done some playing with exactly Avar Kriss Red, and man, that front side ability is it's so good, especially when you play against those decks that are just trying to keep you off the force and there's no way to do it. I mean, she's got an awesome front side.
So that's Alex the Greatest. I will. So that's Alex. The other guy's Ian. Um, they're talking about Avar Kriss's front side here, and I actually agree. Avar Kriss's front side's really nice because specifically you can, like, get the force no matter what. A lot of the ways that people are trying to play around, like Han 2, for instance, is keep them off the force as long as possible. Don't let them turn to Kiadi Mundi to draw cards. Like, keep them off that. So with Avar, you can't do it because I'm always getting the force no matter what. But they're specifically talking about her front side, which is her leader side. I think they're really underselling her, like, unit side, because her unit side, she's an 8-10. Like, an 8-10 worth of stats. Whenever she attacks, she gets the force, so she's an 8-10. Excuse me. Being an 8-10, like 18 stats, we haven't seen that in the game. And she's just a big unit all by herself for free. So that's why I like Avar Kriss. That's why I chose to run her. And we're going to see some of what happened.
Yeah, no, I mean getting the force whenever you want on command is pretty awesome. It's just so hard to get her to flip earlier than resource turn 8 for me.
So I think Ian, right? So that's Ian. Has a little bit of I think it's a little bit misleading, right? So he says resource turn 8. If that's A without ramp, right? You have to, like, we are a big ramp deck. So, like, resupplying turn 2 is a big thing. Do you count that as resource turn? The other thing is, I can get her out, right? You have to put your mind in the time of, like, what is my opponent doing? So, for instance, if they're on 5 resources and they just flip Mother Talzin, but I've ramped once, so I'm on 6. I have ETH Koth out. I attack with ETH Koth, use the force, ramp, and then play, like, do or do not. And I get I get Avar Kriss out. the turn or the turn after, right? 6, like what you would be your opponent's 6 or 5 resource turn. That's the key with Avar Kriss, and that's why I think she's powerful. We see people running Anakin, right? Now, Anakin red, you pair him with blue, so he does have, more removal, a little bit different of a deck, kind of a different pitch to haunt too. Well, Avar is Anakin on steroids if you flip her out on like your opponent's 6 resource turn. And that Anakin deck, Anakin blue, doesn't ramp. So if you ramp once and then like get a double force activation to get Avar out, well then you effectively got her out on like the same turn you would flip Anakin. But you have an 8-10 where Anakin might be like a 6-7 or something like that. So I think Ian's a little bit mistaken there. Avar does feel better. Now, sometimes you do get her out on 8 resources, and she's an 8 flip leader. And those don't always feel the best. But typically, those are like you've had to be the control deck and use your resources not to like hold it for Avar, but to like manage the board. But then, if you make it to Avar's flip, you get a flip, have an 8-10, and then like start wiping the board. So it's still not terrible. And I actually think it's like, in a way, on par, Yoda and Palpatine. I mean, it's weaker than those. It's probably the 3rd best, but it's on par with them.
Yeah, and that was kind of always my biggest problem is like you're trying to string together these hands that are going to let you flip early, but the hands that let you do that are typically not very like they're hard to keep, they're clunky. You have often have like weak turns because you're playing these awkward, clunky, low mana cards, trying to get your flip out early, and then you kind of end up falling behind. And it's also rough because everybody's playing force throw right now, so when your hand just gets pinched so early, it's hard to hold all these pieces in your hand to try to get this early aggressive flip. But one thing she does do.
So I'm gonna stop them right there. I do think Alex here is a little mistaken. I think he might come around to it later on. Is your hands actually aren't that clunky in Avar because you get to run 3 Ki-Adi-Mundis and you also get to run 3 do or do nots. So there's a lot of times where I'm running 6, 8 card hands later on into the game, and force throw really doesn't hurt me that much. I can force throw my own stuff, it's not that bad. And part of my force activation is Ki-Adi-Mundi and do or do not. So there are some turns where you play Ki-Adi-Mundi, you draw 2, you play do or do not, you draw 2, and then you have, like if you run 7 resources, then you could flip Avar and also have a force throw to throw. And if you think about it that way, you went net positive 1 card because you played Ki-Adi, you played do or do not, you played force throw, but you drew 4 cards. And you basically got force throw, Avar Kriss, and Ki-Adi-Mundi on that turn, and you went +1 card. Like if you put it into that mindset, you're not pinching your hand. You're actually getting cards in your. Well, I guess if you force throw yourself, you're at net 0 cards. But like you can even see, after all that, you've got a 4-4, you've removed something, you've got an 8-10 on the board, and you've dug for good cards. So that's why I like Avar Kriss here.
Well, is keep getting the force and abusing these force effects that everyone loves to see these formats or this format like Mace Windu,
As always, I lose the die roll.
Yachty, even some of the nice green ones too.
Yeah. I'm surprised the Avar Kriss player isn't pairing it with blue to try to take advantage of some of the more like frequent activations or use of the force token. Like I found Chirrut being one of the ones that could potentially be a way that you get a bunch of activations at once. It's like that and the daughter are like the only ones that you can really chain together in a turn with.
So I'm gonna pause Ian right there. So he's talking about why not play blue because you get I think what the real cards that you're running there are Itinerant Warrior, you're running the Daughter, you're running Chirrut, and you're running Shatterpoint. And the reason why I like red over blue is in blue, you're not the person actively using the force. So you're playing Chirrut. And yes, Chirrut's really good into like Sabine. Well, he can be really good into Sabine. 1 second. All right, there'll be a cut there. He's really good into Sabine, and the Daughter's really good into Sabine. The problem is that you're not actively the one like managing and using the force, you're playing Chirrut, you're playing the daughter, and you're going, please, will you like run into my strategy? So, you can play Chirrut as a 3/5, they attack into it, and then, you get to use the force, and then you get ready again, and you're like, all right, all I need you to do is attack into Chirrut one more time, and then I get to flip Avar. And a smart opponent's going to look at you and be like, yeah, bud, listen, I'm not going to do that because I'm not letting you flip Avar out a turn earlier. So I'm just going to claim, or I'm not going to attack Chirrut. The same thing with the daughter. So you can actually see in my opening hand here, I actually do have the daughter. And there were a couple games where you play the daughter out and you get one force activation. You're like, all right, cool. One more and I get a flip Avar. And they're like, yeah, I'm not hitting your base. I'm just going to claim. And so that's why I gravitated away from blue. Where in red, you get to play Sorceress Blast, you get to play Do or Do Not, you get to play KTOD Mondays, you get to play Mace Windows, and you get Crate Dragon at the end and Force Throw. But so those cards are why I gravitated toward red. You get a bunch of low-cost force activation. So you can think of Do or Do Not in a lot of cases as draw 2 cards, ramp to pull out your leader. Sorceress Blast, deal 3 damage for 1 resource, ramp your leader once. And that's what gravitates you towards red. Especially because you're the one deciding when the force happens, not your opponent. So you're not at the whim of like, hey, opponent, can you please give into my strategy a little bit? I would really appreciate that.
Without much other work besides playing the card. But obviously you get force throw if you're playing red, so can't hate on it. Also, it looks like this guy's playing with like the showcase and full like prestige 2 variant cards. Like everything's hyperfoil or prestige in this guy's deck.
Oh man, you need sunglasses to look at this deck. That's rich. I'm not pocket watching, but man, that's rich.
All right. First of all, my whole deck is not hyperfoil prestige 2s. I'm still missing a tier 2 Yoda, okay? So, first of all, this is fake news, Ian. You're fake news, okay? But no, I mean, listen, I open Carbonites, I open stuff, so I'm gonna play the nice cards. I probably won't play foils at Galactics because the foils have been better, and I don't run a lot of foils that aren't like set 5 foils. But hyperspace only. Now we're talking. But no, I find it funny. They do talk about my prestige foils in my bling deck, but I think they're just hating. Because at the end of the day, listen, even if I lose, at least I still got to show off some fancy cardboard. So, yeah, they're just
amazing. How do you feel about Talzin Green? I feel like I haven't seen.
All right, so they rattle off about Talzin Green, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my. I use Infused Brawler here, and this is one of my like kind of favorite plays, especially if you're going second, which I am. He's a 4/4 on turn 1, and he can trade into a lot of 2/4s and survive. So if you don't know what Infused Brawler does, he attacks. Sorry, if you use when played, you use the force, you get 2 experience tokens. He's also really good to get Avar out early. But when he attacks, you lose an experience token on him. So if you trade into like a 3/3, Infused Brawler also dies. But 2/4s, specifically 2/4s, you hit a 2/4, and now you're a 3/1 afterwards. That's why I really like Infused Brawler. However, I don't like Infused Brawler that much into Mother Talzin. So this is going to be a bad showcase for this card, but against Sabines, against Gar Saxons, against like almost the field, Infused Brawler feels really nice.
That type of variation on it, like, is there a benefit to going with the force stuff with a blue-green deck than the normal soft control stuff we see?
I don't think you're ever going to beat the value of the red force package right now. And I typically see at least the same 12 cards in every deck. It's going to be 3 Adigalia, 3 KTOD Mundi, 3 Force Throw, 3 Mace Windu. And maybe like some people play like 1 less Adigalia, but like I've seen that 11 to 12 card package.
So I will say that he's talking about Adigalia and the like red hero force package, which I run everything but Addy. And I actually, in one of my games, and it did, like I did lose 1-2 in the total match. I missed it by 1 damage. So Adigalia actually, looking in hindsight, all that, would have won me that game if I played her because it would have got the 1 damage if they played an event, which they did, and I would have got the extra damage I needed. So Adigalia, really like, might actually consider including her because a lot of the 1-drops in my current deck, like, Jedi Consular is nice, Gungi is nice, but a lot of times like a 2/5 is just a 2/5. I don't know. It's something to think about. Adigalia, I don't think is terrible.
Pretty much every red force deck to date. So there's probably a few more that I'm forgetting, but it's a deck that so easily kind of just builds itself when you include red in there, and you get all the best cards. I mean, Kiadi Mundi and Force Thrower are two of the best cards.
All right. So one thing I want to talk about here is why I'm hitting base and not like trading. And this is kind of like a theme you'll see throughout this match. This is actually something that one of my Discord members taught me when I was playing Yoda Green. A lot of times I lost in Yoda to like blue villain control, especially like blue green specifically. Blue green villain control was, you don't, like, early on, if you're the one trading your units, right? If you're not doing beatdowns on their base, then by the time you guys are at like a stabilizing point where it could go one way or it could go the other, you don't have enough damage on base to like push through and break through. So actually, one of the best things that like green hero, and it was like blue green hero, but what green hero can do is push a lot of damage early on. This puts a lot of pressure on them, and then all it takes is like one swing with Avar, or all it takes is like one crate dragon, and then it's game over. And so that's why I'm pushing damage here. The other thing is, I'm gonna make them use resources to defeat my units, because I think they're the control deck, I'm the beatdown in this matchup. If I traded into Secret of Sage, right, I would have actually, we both would have been defeated there. So I'm saying I'm going to push damage to base. You deal with my units, and eventually I get to flip Avar, I get to play Crate Dragons, I get to play Yoda, and you're not going to have answers to all of them.
Right now.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason, like, I think you're kind of...
Okay, so one good thing to notice here is I made them use the Force to defeat my Infused Brawler, which is nice because, yes, it's gone. And Secret of Sage is still around. So it could either be no damage on base and no Secret of Sage, or it could be 4 damage on base and Secret of Sage. And he has 3 resources up. I like this more because I like pushing damage. And you'll see in a couple turns here that it does a little bit pay off for me.
Playing on hard mode if you're opting to play a force deck and not playing the color red right now.
Well, what about in villain though? Like, you get force throw for sure, but you don't get Kiadi Mundi on curve with Talzin, right? So is there any benefit to going green over red? Like, you get Vader unit as like a 7-drop that's good.
Oh, in Talzin, I mean, in Talzin, honestly, I haven't played Talzin green, so I don't really know what the benefits of green is. So one thing that
Timely Vader, that would be the benefit of Talzin green. That's like really the only, I mean, Talzin green, Timely Vader, Overwhelming Barrage would be why. I don't even want to say better top end, because Crate Dragon's like phenomenal top end. So I think Timely Intervention and specifically Timely Vader and Overwhelming.
I think is kind of contradictory when I was looking at the green list this morning was that you have 6 pieces of ramp, but then Talzin's best units are all the 4-drops. So what?
Alex makes a really good point there. I don't know if you're listening to him, right? He makes a lot of really good points about this Talzin list that I don't really pay attention to because Talzin green. So again, I put another 4 damage on base here. So if you think about it, they're at 20 health, and it's only turn 3. So that's like Avar flip deals 8, Crate Dragon deals 10, right? If they try to remove Crate Dragon, typically it's like 4 damage. So we're putting a lot of pressure on them, so that way when we get to our big stuff, it just takes 1 or 2 swings to defeat them. You could have argued that I put 1 damage on Pershing here, but I think inevitably Pershing is getting 1 ping. So, he's getting 1 card draw. That's just, and I would rather put 4 damage onto base than, kind of not put 4 damage on. And then, if he sees that I don't attack Pershing, well, then he might hit Pershing himself with Pershing's ability, and then I could defeat him on the next turn. So, and plus I have Kiadi Mundi in hand, spoiler alert. So I attacked, I got the Force.
Because you're skipping turn 4 a lot of the time.
All right, so good thing here, he powers me. and Infused Brawler sucked up a power, which is like something that I really want to happen. Like I'm really happy that that happened.
Which it's
Right.
still fine because on 5, if you have a force throw, okay, you can do force throw and one of your really powerful 4s. But Talzin seems like the last deck that I'd want to be skipping turn 4 with. And if we're doing this like kind of late game blue green villainous stuff, well, I think Kylo and Kira just do that.
So my opponent here is debating on where to put the damage on Dr. Pershing. I actually think he made a mistake here. He puts the damage onto Pershing and not Secretive Sage. The reason why he should put it on Secretive Sage is it makes it so that Ki-Adi-Mundi here can't swing into Pershing, and then he could get like a second card draw. And maybe he didn't know this, but Secretive Sage, or I'm sorry, if Secretive Sage gets hit, he's a 2/1. My deck doesn't really have anything to like cleanly deal one singular damage. So I would have to play like a Sorcerer's Blast to overkill it, or, you know, play something like Mace Windu, which deals 4, which is overkill. So Secretive Sage would probably be the move here.
A lot better right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, this seems like a deck that really wants the red stuff, that has a lot of great damage cards, force throw, of course, a lot of cards that pair very well with its ability.
So I also used the Force here, and you might be wondering why. The reason why was I was trying to keep him off damaging my base. I actually think it would have been smarter to claim and then attack with Ki-Adi, because then no matter what, right, I know I get the Force. There's really zero reason to do this here except trying to get damage off my base. I think in the future, I think this is a claim, not a tap. This is just one of those learning moments.
I'm just not, I don't know. It just,
I get it. I get it. It's
yeah,
okay. You're too Han
I'm not
2-pilled.
sold.
So he puts 2 to base and I claim. So it like kind of pays off for me, but it could have, you know, if he claimed and powered me, it's almost GG right there.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Talzin. I like Talzin red. I mean, hell, I even like Talzin yellow. Talzin green playing 6 ramp seems like you're just kind of like a watered down Kira deck to me. So, and maybe I'm wrong, but
How do you feel about these prestige foil Ki-Adi-Mundis from the Avar deck?
Bro, Ian, hop off my prestige foils, bro. Nah, it's all good.
say that one more time. Sorry.
It's the prestige foil Ki-Adi-Mundi. Just really rubbing it in your opponent's face that
I'm
you
gonna
have
be
the
honest
best card in the game on your side.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna.
All right, so I swung into Pershing. Now, whether he was trying to bait me into swinging Pershing and not going base, that's why he put a damage on it. Still think I disagree, because Secretive Sage, like, it's basically like free health for the first Pershing. But you got to take Pershing on the board. You don't want them drawing cards, especially since I'm trying to run Force Throw, and you want them to have a tight hand if you're Force Throw.
Throw me off pretty badly because I don't know what any of the prestige arts look like, so I'm kind of just like squinting my eyes trying to figure out what cards these are.
All right, I'll do the play-by-play then. I got you.
I can tell that's Ki-Adi. I can see the big cone head. That's a dead
Yeah, we got a
giveaway.
cone
But
head over here.
yeah, I can see the cone head, but some of these are gonna throw me through a loop. So bear with me.
All right, so he -1/-1's Ki-Adi here. So in my eyes, what I think he's trying to do is he's going to try and flip Talzin, attack with Talzin, give another -1/-1 to Ki-Adi, and then trade in Secretive Sage to defeat him. That's where I think he's trying to go with this.
Here, guys.
Yeah, it's interesting to say Avar deck was playing that like 2/2 brawler guy, since you can activate Avar to get the Force on turn 1 and make a 4/4. But I have not found that guy is very good.
He's really good in Avar, specifically because if you're going second, like, it's the best thing you can do. A 4/4 going second is pretty powerful.
Yeah, I think that card's actually pretty okay, but like I'm not like this is the real one. This is the card I.
So he quickly goes off of it. I agree with what Alex is saying. It's just okay. Like, I'm not crazy about it, because if you're going first, you lose the initiative, which kind of sucks. But he's going to talk about ETH Koth here, and I think I'm going to let Alex go off a little bit about ETH Koth, and then we can talk about it.
I love about Avar always having the force for ETH Koth. I think this guy is stellar.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
that card is it's very nice that they finally gave Hero a.
All right, so I'm going to pause here. You can see him about the Force Throw. I think ETH Koth is like the only thing that makes Avar really work, because he counts for 2 specifically in Avar. If you trade Ethkoth in, then you use the Force, you get the ramp and the Force usage. So if you either ramp one more time or use the Force one more time, on 5 or on like 6 resources typically is when this happens. Then you get to flip Avar, and that's really like the powerful play to sneak her out super early.
A super laser tech type card.
Yes.
Here's the Force throw. Are we going from hand? Or are we going to see a Crate Dragon kill a Talzin? We are.
Okay, listen, I want to defend this play a little bit. I know I'm going to get memed on because they're like, oh, look at this guy doing this thing that everybody's doing. I'm playing green-red hero. I don't have that much in the way of single target removal besides flinging my own worms at people, okay? So, listen, I'm sorry that it had to happen. I apologize. I felt dirty doing it, but, yeah, dude, get Talzin out of here. I got to throw this worm at Big Mama over there.
Who would have thought in this meta that we would see a Force throw Crate Dragon killing a Mother Talzin?
Bro, I'm in green, okay? I don't have blue shatter points, all right? Calm down.
Not me.
Yeah, I mean, throwing a dragon like kind of epitomizes everything that I dislike about Force Throw as a card, because I feel like that's like one of the most common plays right now. It's like, oh, I'm gonna flip my Cad Bane leader, I'm gonna flip my 7 HP Quinlan or Talzin leader, and they're
all right. So they're not gonna talk about this, but like, listen. All right, I'm gonna get on a soapbox here for a second. I think Power of the Dark Side, Overwhelming Barrage, and Force Throw are all like collectively in the same tier of cards. They don't complain about this Overwhelming Barrage at all, but they do complain about Force Throw. Like, I get Force Throw is the hot topic here, but if you're gonna ban Force Throw or talk about how bad Force Throw is, you gotta talk about Overwhelming Barrage and you gotta talk about Power of the Dark Side. Both of those cards a little overtuned, in my opinion. They're not gonna. Like, I'm getting OB'd here. They were both playing broken stuff. Back off a little bit. I'm
just gonna Force Throw a Crate Dragon at you because the 2 cards they drew off Kiadi. Like, Kiadi Mundi has effectively become a 4 mana kill any creep unit you want if you have Force Throw and Crate Dragon in your hand.
All right, so just to talk a little bit about what Alex is saying there, he's complaining that Kiadi Mundi is really powerful if you have exactly 2 other cards in hand, which does happen because he gets to draw cards. Listen, it's a 3-card combo. Like, I get that it happens, and it like, when it happens, it sticks in your brain, and it really sucks. But it's a 3-card combo. 3-card combo. Like, a little bit relaxed there, in my opinion. Now, I am abusing Force Throw, so obviously I'm going to be, white knighting it. I think it's really great. Like, I think it's great. But if you're going to complain about Force Throw, like Kiadi Mundi into Force Throw into Crate Dragon, I would like to hear a little bit of dissension for Overwhelming Barrage and Power of the Dark Side.
I guess 5 mana. 5 mana to kill anything. Like, just like, I don't know. It seems like a common play that we're going to see a lot in this meta, and it's one of the things that I think is holding back some of the higher HP later flip leaders right now, is just the fact that they flip and can be immediately killed for 1 mana.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a thing.
Now, big brain here, Avar Kriss, guess what? She can't be killed by a Force Throw Crate Dragon.
Oh, she does have a 10 booty. That's
Yes.
a big, thick booty.
He's a big mama, Ian, all right? Listen, Avar is big mama. That's how we refer to her going forward, okay? Alex, Ian, write that down, okay? Big mama.
Now, if he was playing Devastator, however, he could throw...
Did we just see him pass after the activation of the Force from Avar? I think that's what they just skipped the 6 resource turn.
So, I'll let him continue because they do talk about this a little bit.
I'm pretty sure that benefits the
Avar deck, right?
No, the Talzin deck. He's got like Avengers and like Devastators, right? Like,
I mean, I would hope he does, but I don't know. Maybe it's all the 4-drops that are good with the Force.
I feel like if you're playing Ramp, you're playing Avengers, you're playing Devastators. Like, I don't see a reason you wouldn't be playing the Kira.
Well, he's playing green.
Okay, so let me talk about this a little bit, and I could be wrong because I haven't seen their deck list yet. But a couple things. One, I do think at the end of the day, since I have 3 Crate Dragons, 3 Mace Windu's, 3 Poes, 3 Yodas, I think I have a lot more top end that I can push a lot of damage. Damage-wise, I'm ahead, and he doesn't have his leader, and I still have 8-10 in the back pocket for free with Avar Kriss. So most likely I'm going to get to swing with it and deal, like, so basically they're at 16 damage right now, if you, like, think. You gotta squint, but they're at 16 damage, which means they only have 12 damage remaining left on their base. So to me, I'm like, okay, let's get to Crate Dragons. Let me, not bait into something really good for them. Also say, in my hand, what I really had was I had a Mace Windu, and I think that was it. So there really was like nothing great to get Mother Talzin to get Avar Kriss to flip. I think I had Mace Windu, and I had like Sorceress Blast. By him passing, unless I want to deal 4 damage to my own Mace Windu to flip Avar for it to get Rivals Fall, because that's kind of like what they were telegraphing to me. I was like, nah, bro, I'm gonna claim, and we're gonna go to the next turn. And then you might be wondering, why am I playing Jedi Consular turn 1? And that's a good question, Mr. Strawman. But specifically, it's like insulation against Merciless Contest and Power of the Dark Side. Because I don't want to be playing Mace Windu. I don't want to be flipping Avar out on an empty board so that it can be powered. Because now, what they're going to have to do is Rivals Fall Avar Kriss specifically and use up their whole turn. And I'm planning on flipping Mace Windu, and I have an extra Crate Dragon in hand. So, like, that's kind of my path forward here.
We don't know if he's playing ramp. We haven't seen a ramp card.
Also, when talking about the ships, this is a little bit of inside baseball. I haven't seen his deck, so I could be wrong. But if you look at where his deck is and where his like discard pile is, it's in the space arena, which might mean he's running 0 space because he's like really sloppy in the space arena. And I noticed that, and I was like, well, maybe he's not playing any space, so I'm just gonna pretend like space doesn't exist and go from there.
I would.
And that was actually interesting. I don't know if you saw like the first pool there. He was actually gonna play Chirrut, and I actually think Chirrut would be the right play. Reason being, yes, he doesn't have the force, but a 5/7 ambush for 6 is really good to have in your back pocket to like clear something for me. So he plays this to ambush into Jedi Consular, which I guess like, and I'll kind of spoil myself here. Jedi Consular is not that crazy in Avar Kriss because a lot of our big game units rely on the Force. Think Yoda and think Mace Windu. You can't cheat in both of those cards with Consular because you use the Force to get the cheat. So you can't like cheat in a Yoda and then heal and blow something up. So Consular's not actually that scary, but like the idea of the it's because of the implication. So he probably saw, all right, I get a stick of 5/7. It gets some buffs. I'll have the Force. I'll be able to get a +2/+2 if I play another unit next turn. And I get a like 1 damage defeat this Consular, which like, that's fine. Now you're tapped out. You have 1 resource left. You're not scary anymore. And I have a bunch of stuff coming up.
Did the one earlier, and maybe this is a different one, but I'm willing to bet there's ramp in here. Yes, okay, and there's this 8th brother.
I have not been a huge fan of this card. Not getting the extra dude with Darth Vader for 1 less resource, significantly worse of a card.
Someone said the best card in the game is the credit card.
True and real.
All
right, so I Mace Windu here, and you might be thinking like, oh man, that kind of sucks. But it actually doesn't, because what I like to do with Avar is to flip Avar and then like swing with her. So, or like, obviously swing with her. Clear like a unit on board, because you get the overwhelm. So with Mace Windu here, what I'm actually doing is that 4 damage that goes on 5th brother is actually 4 damage that's going to base, because Avar was going to flip and hit 5th brother anyway.
Another foil prestige. I think this is the Mace Windu.
Bro, Ian, calm down, brother. It's just a prestige tier 2. It's not like, listen, I could be playing full serialized, okay? Like, I get it. Listen, I traded for him, all right? Calm down. Stop fucking wallet shaming me, brother.
Yeah, dealing
the
4
mace.
damage. The 6-cost mace that uses the force to deal 4.
Okay, yep. I mean, this is a reason why Avar is great. Like, you don't have to, when you're playing against these blue-green villainous decks, whose objective is to just kind of try to keep you off the force forever. They can't do it. And out comes Mother 10.
Okay, so this was also really important. I attacked into Fifth Brother here, and it had 2 damage, so it goes 6 overwhelmed, so he's at 14. I know that he has Rivals Fall in hand, which means he's most likely Rivals Falling my Avar Kriss. So I'm gonna get 6 damage in regardless with Mace Windu. So that puts him at 20 damage with 8 health remaining. That's in my mind what I'm thinking of, unless he's Super Laser Blast. If he's Super Laser Blasts, then I have a couple other big cards. Sorry, that was my discard, not yours. And you know, I probably won't stick a Crate Dragon on an empty board to get Power of the Dark-Sided, but Super Laser Blast would hurt a little bit here. But I do have a bunch of top end in the back that can like fill out a super like post Super Laser Blast.
Packing a punch, always having the force, just punching for a billion right here.
And I want to highlight here. Imagine if I didn't attack with the brawlers, right? It would subtract 8 from 14. You would only be at 6 damage. And like if you think about think about this exact scenario with only 6 damage on base, I actually would say that's a losing position for me. But him being so weak lets me be able to like finally push damage and hope that he doesn't have the answers.
Yeah, we need a Super Laser Blast.
I was about to say we're a Super Laser Blast away from greatness right now.
Yeah, I don't know what else would be able to stabilize here.
Looks like he's got a Rival's Fall in hand, so at the very least that'll get the Avar cleaned up if he needs to.
And he did telegraph that he had a Rival's Fall in hand with the 6 resource turn where it was past claim.
I think that, yep,
I think
that's
there's
a
a
Rival's
power
Fall
as
in hand.
well.
Yeah, so I mean he's only on 8, so he can't do them both. He could double power if he had it here. Okay, yep, and there's the Rival's Fall. We're gonna clean that up.
He's just gonna play a 2-drop probably after this.
Bring it whacked for 6. I mean, this Tolson's under a lot of pressure right now. And the thing is, these Avar decks are going to be really hard.
All right, so I threw a Crate Dragon out instead of attacking with Mace Windu. That's because this is basically a check position. Reason being, the best thing Mother Talzin can do right now is shrink Mace Windu by 1. Because now if they play a 2-drop, then like I effectively got 2 extra damage into base. So even if they shrink my Mace Windu this turn, I swing for 5. They probably won't play a 2-drop to proc the Crate Dragon. So they'll be at 19 damage. If they fell the dragon, which would probably be the best way to defeat the Crate Dragon right now, is with fell. So I deal an extra 4. So if they shrink my Mace Windu, then it would be, you know, you'd swing 5 this turn, so we'd be at 19. A fell the dragon would bring him at 23. And Mace Windu still is lethal. So it kind of puts him in a check position. I actually don't know if there's a way to get out of it. I swing for, I could swing for 5 here. And if I swing for 5 here, what did I just say, 19? Super Laser Blast puts him at 27. So Super Laser Blast does save him on the next turn if he had it. But then, you know, any damage that goes through is game winning.
Grind out.
Crate Dragon.
All right, well, I've seen enough.
Man, it's nice drawing 2 Crate Dragons when you can force through the first one and then play the other one on curve.
Alrighty, and calm down. Listen, I forced through the first Crate Dragon because I had the second one in hand at the same time. Plus, that's why I run 3 Crate Dragons, because I want to see more of them. Also, by the way, I know I'm like getting animated. I don't like, it's all in good fun. Like, I think they're making good points. Like, obviously, force throwing your own Crate Dragon, then playing a Crate Dragon on curve, you probably just want to, you know, put your fist through a wall. But like, what can you do to that?
And the thing about these these Avar decks is that they're so hard to grind out because they can, even if they want to, they can play do or do not. So they have another cheap way to draw. They have Kiadi Mundis, just like a bunch of ways to just keep drawing cards forever and just like keep that advantage up. It's going to be hard for a blue-green villainous deck to kind of grind them out of cards, so they kind of just have to like stick an Avenger and hope it rides. And that is a fundamental flaw of this color pairing, is that if you get a big unit and you can't force throw a Crate Dragon, that unit's going to ride. It's very hard for this deck to kill something like
Any scoops. So I'm actually going to stop the recording and start it up again because last time, right here, my computer crashed and it corrupted the file. So I don't want to do this for a third time. All right. So sorry, quick cut there. So I took game one, and we're gonna. There's actually a couple cool insights with the commentators.
Avenger, a Devastator, because it doesn't have Fell the Dragon, it doesn't have Rival's Fall, it doesn't have Shatterpoint, all that
Yeah.
blue removal suite.
And it looks like Mother Talzin's scooping it up. Can't deal with the dragon.
Wow, that was fast. How that must have been, that felt like what, 10 minutes?
It indeed, well, it was 9 minutes because of 55 to 46. So one thing I do like about Avar Kriss is the games actually go kind of fast. There are times where you have to think about your turn, but the games, I thought they'd go a little bit longer, but every single game I had, even into like longer, more grindy control matches, I had 8, 9, 10 minutes left on the round, even going like 3 rounds.
Jeez, that was a quick win.
Wait, this Avar deck is sideboarding in Force Lightnings.
What? Interesting.
I would maybe see if you're playing like the Anakin unit that wants villainy cards in your discard, but he's playing red green.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe Force Lightning is just like good enough. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he said that he didn't have any like hard removal because he's playing red green, so he's just like, all right, I'll put some Force Lightnings in my sideboard.
So, bingo. It's funny that they literally just talked about me not having the like hard single target removal, and specifically, so I'll let you in on it. Why Force Throw is in the sideboard, specifically for Han2's Crate Dragons. So on what is it, 8 resources, they can bring a Crate Dragon in as a 10/8, and what you can do with Force Lightning is if you have a like any force unit, a Gungi, a Jedi Consular, you can run Force Lightning and defeat that Crate Dragon for 7 resources. Meaning you can defeat the Crate Dragon for 7 and still Force Throw. So the reason why they're in there specifically for Crate Dragons, and you only take 1 damage back because the base cost of Force Lightning is 1. So I see it as if they play their whole turn to play a 10/8, I'll play my whole turn to silence and defeat it. I usually at that turn like might have my Avar Kriss still. Like I still have like usually a board and threats. And then essentially what happens is they only run like 2 Crate Dragons most of the time. They have a single Crate Dragon left. So I've defeated half of their like ending game lockouts. So Force Lightnings, specifically for the Han 2 matchup, the reason why I sideboarded them in here is because in case he decided that he wants to run big spaceships, right? He just talked about sticking an Avenger, sticking a Devastator. What you can do is you can Force Lightning and defeat those. And it kind of gives you a little bit of like hard removal if there's like one really big unit that you can't get around. Also kind of good into Lurking Ties, because you can silence Lurking Tie. So for 4, you can defeat a Lurking Tie, which is really good against like Garsax. The other 2 cards I sideboarded in was Rebellious Hammerhead. Those are only in the sideboard because I wanted to try out the Daughter. Like this was, I didn't bring like the best version of the deck into this tournament. I really wanted to try out like, okay, how does the Daughter work? How does a couple of these cards like feel in the deck? But I think going forward, Rebellious Hammerheads definitely go in the main. And the last card I sideboarded in was Construct Lightsaber. And the reason why is I'm kind of playing my Avar deck a little bit like an aggro deck. So what I want to do is, if I'm like 2 damage off, a lot of times you're going to have 3 extra resources. You flip Avar Kriss, you attach a Constructed Lightsaber to her. Now, Avar Kriss is a 10/13 restore 2. So you can also put that on your Obi-Wans. You can put it on your basically every single card except for Poe. I believe, and blue leaders and the vehicles, obviously. But every unit except for Poe can wield a constructed lightsaber. So constructed lightsaber is like a little bit of extra pump, and it has some other benefits. It's in there also for like Sabine matchups and aggro matchups because you can equip it, right? It's +2 attack and it's restore 2. So a lot of times that gets you like the little bit of edge you need to like actually outrace some of these aggro decks before they can get you down.
Yeah, I mean that's
And I believe I cited out the bombing runs, open fire, and like one of something. I forget what the other card is.
honestly, I don't hate it because like I said, if your opponent sticks like a Devastator and Avenger, you are gonna fold. So like it is they're gonna use their whole turn, you're gonna use your whole turn, but like it's better than losing the game, so why not, right?
Yeah, 100% Alex spot on there. Exactly why it's in there. It just I find it funny that like literally it came like, oh, well, you don't have good single target removal. Sees the force lightning and they're like, oh no, why do they have this big single target removal thing in here? But they got around to it. So props to the commentators.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I also like to say, it really just goes to show you, I don't want to pump, rainbows and sunshines up their ass, but seeing a card out of aspect like Force Lightning, and then initially being like, "Yo, what is that?" and then being like, "You know what? Okay, it kind of makes sense. I don't hate it. I might agree with it." It goes to show you the knowledge that Ian and Alex have with the game. They're like, "You know what? I respect him." I don't know if they actually do. I don't think they probably don't. Um, but it's just at least you know what? Regardless of what happens in this game, I'm glad that the world now gets to see a little bit of my psychoticness on full display with out of aspect force.
Um, what do we got from what is the Towson player siding in here though?
Superlaser Blast.
Superlaser Blast, yeah, that would make sense to me.
I mean, if you're not playing it main, I don't know what this deck is supposed to be doing because it feels like
Yeah, me either, brother.
it's too.
Well, no, I know. So this deck I think is like, it'd be cool. What if we just play a good leader and we timely intervention Darth Vader? Notice no timely, no Darth Vaders on the Mother Talzin side.
Put into one, but maybe Decreasy is just trying to get everybody to think he's playing this deck at Worlds, and he's just gonna switch to something completely different.
I'm Yeah, I feel like Super Laser Blast feels like kind of it's a card that would be hard for me not to play if I was in blue villain. In any blue villain deck, it'd be very hard for me not to have Super Laser Blast somewhere in the 60 because there's always going to be some matchup where it's good, and an 8-10 leader flip is probably one of those matchups.
100%. Alex, spot on. Super Laser Blast is like, I do get to flood the board, and I probably would try to wait for Super Laser Blast to flip Avar Kriss out, but sometimes you got to push damage, and maybe I should consider Keller and Bex or U Wings next. But yeah, I think Super Laser Blast really strong, would have been really good into me.
Yeah, I would imagine. One that most likely comes out on the 8 resource turn.
Brother, she comes out on the Ziggs resource turn. Calm down.
Yeah, that's another big thing is it is coming out. It's lining up real well with the Super Laser Blast. But I actually think for that it's for the same reason Avar is very good about playing around Super Laser Blast because if you can make a board and force them to blast you, you're just like, okay, on top of having my whole turn, I'm also going to flip this 8-10 leader and just make a whole new huge board again. So you better have the second one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Alex, spot on yet again. If you do want to hold Avar and then flip her after a Super Laser Blast, you're like, not only is there an 8-10, but now there might be a Mace Windu or a Crate Dragon following it up.
Yeah, exactly. It is though.
I'm actually interested. I haven't seen their hand. It looks like what do we got? Is that I think they got a Count Dooku. I'm pretty sure they play Karis turn 1. I know they got a no glory there. I don't know what else they have.
Risky playing it before you see the Crate Dragon, because then it's just like, all right, well, you better have the Power of the Dark Side to follow up when you know that they're gonna try to play a Crate on 9.
Mm,
All right, so I'm curious. Sorry, I'm gonna see what did he resource here. Looks like he resourced.
Yeah, exactly. It is though risky playing it before you see the Crate Dragon, because then it's just like, all right, well, you better have the Power of the Dark Side to follow up when you know that they're gonna try to play a Crate on 9.
All right, I know. I think he resourced one Vader. I couldn't see what the other card was, which is kind of wild to me.
How do you feel about the card Sorcerer's Blast? I feel like it's a necessary evil for this Avar deck, but I've not been impressed with that card.
it's like
It's really only good in Avar, in my opinion, because it kind of reads deal 3 damage and like ramp, like ramp. A lot of times in games, you go sorceress, like you can play a cheap do or do not use the force with to draw 2, tap Avar, get the force, and then sorceress blast. And then, if you do that on 7 resources, well, you spent 3 resources. So then you can actually flip Avar, swing for 8, and then drop like a Kiadi Mundi to draw 2 more cards. Then you have a 4/10, a 4/4. You drew a ton of cards. So Sorcerer's Blast also really good at like on 7 you can Mace Windu, attack with something, or like if you already had the Force, you Mace Windu, tap Avar, Sorcerer's Blast, flip Avar. So it's only good in Avar, and if you're playing Han 2, you're probably like, oh my god, brother, this card sucks. The 3 damage does come in handy. It's kind of good into Han 2 at times. Um, Especially if they like Ogda Bogda turn 1. Because that would be like a 5/3, and then you Sorcerer's Blast it, and then they're like, well, GG. So Sorcerer's Blast it's better than they think. They're gonna talk about how 2/4s are running rampant, so it's a little bit lackluster. But Sorcerer's Blast are more like a damage breakpoint equalizer and not a turn 1 like I'm gonna defeat a 2.
fine.
Really good into Sabine, however, because you can defeat their 3/3 on turn 1 with a Sorceress Blast. In Avar specifically, tap Avar, get the Force, Sorceress Blast. So if you get like Sorceress Blast into Sabine is really, really strong because you can defeat almost any of their turn 1 plays for 1 resource.
Problem with Sorcerer's Blast is Sorcerer's Blast last set would have been incredible. Sorcerer's Blast this set is every single turn 1 play has 4 health, so it does like pretty much nothing. Like
Agree to some point, but again, you have to think Sabine still exists. Sabine is my worst matchup, and Sorcerer's Blast really good into Sabine because 3 health, especially early on. Fleet Lieutenants, Sabine's Masterpiece, Battlefield Marines, Sabine unit, all of those get defeated by Sorcerer's Blast. So you could even go turn 1 2 turn 1 2 drop, turn 2 2 drop into a Sorcerer's Blast.
It's kind of an interesting design choice to give all the 2 mana plays for turn 1 4 health, and then the 1 mana removal dealing 3 damage. So but I think it still has its upsides. Like if you're playing against Sabine, for example, it's still a very good card there. All of Sabine's units, for the most part, still only have 3 HP or less. So it is going to give you some upside in that matchup if you happen to bump into her.
And spoiler alert, I did in fact bump into her, and I lost. It's my worst matchup. I went 1/2, but Sorcerer's Blast was a key piece against Sabine.
It does enable you to do the Avar flip turn, but like I said earlier, the Avar flip early is just like you need a clunky hand. Like you have to play like set up a hand when people are constantly force throwing you and discarded cards from your hand. It seems weird to me. It is a 1 cost, so it's a great discard for force throw. It's a great fizzler. But I don't know. It's right now, given what the meta is, it's not personally my cup of tea. I think it's an alright card though, in principle. Like it has a good line of text on it. It just doesn't line up well here. Will Kylo's set to appear tonight?
Interesting to see what this Avar deck's gonna try to do to start getting back on the board, because there's like
So I left these the blue leaders in specifically because blue leader is really nice if you turn one Jedi Consular into turn 2 blue leader, because then you can actually ambush for a 5/5 on the ground. That's why I kept it in. Unfortunately, it does nothing besides just push damage. And I was like, okay, pushing damage into Mother Talzin in space, it could add up. It could end up being 6, 9, 12 damage. So early blue leader pushing 6, 9, 12 damage is going to be good for the same reasons I talked about before, where we push a lot of damage early, and then when we flip Avar, we throw our Yodas down, we throw our Freight Dragons down, then, you just need 1 or 2 good swings.
just a random space unit that's not gonna help you fight against the Talzin ground stuff.
Agree. Agree. It's not ideal, but it is kind of annoying for them because it can eventually push a lot of damage.
Luckily, Avar can just turn on the Force herself, but
What do we got? We got a Crate Dragon. It looks like we got a Force Throws. We're gonna see this Talzin explode again if we can get a Force unit down here. Oh,
there's
and there's
a
the cone.
Mundi.
There's the cone head.
Yeah, and he did have the force because of the attack with Karis. Again, not a May thing. Like, you have to get the force. So it's not a mistrigger. He didn't do anything wrong. So ambush into KTOD does kind of hurt because having the 4/4 would have meant that I could defeat the Karis and finally get board back.
Does get deleted by the Tarth Tyrannus though.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
Darth
he's gonna need
Tyrannus was
another
rough.
Force unit here if he wants to pull off throw another dragon at this Talzin here. And that's gonna be hard to do with the Dooku. Now, what if he have I guess if he plays the duck, if he's playing the duck's got 5 health, so he can find himself a window.
Wait, is the duck Dagoyan Master?
The duck is Dagoyan Master, and I don't run Dagoyan Master. It is more draw, but like, do you really need draw? And I forget what his mana cost is, but he's a 5/5. Like, he could be good. He could fill out somewhere, but the deck feels tight already. I'm running 53 cards. I don't know. Like, we've tried Dagoyan Master in my Discord a little bit, and I think it got cut relatively early on. It might be something to look into. But you're drawing, Mace Windu's, you're drawing another Kiadi Mundi. Like, the draws are okay, but you can't draw like a timely. You can't draw, because I think it has to be a force unit. I could be wrong. But I don't think the duck is crazy. But it is 2 force activations. If you can like time it right, which is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, the duck is a duck, right?
I will now call him the duck, but I didn't know that's that's what we were calling him.
He looks like a duck.
I mean, if it looks like a duck, it's
All right, so you see I pushed damage into base. So the blue leader has done 6 damage itself, which is good. And, it'll eventually start snowballing, and we'll see if I can get enough damage with it so that Avar and Great Dragons and Yodas can defeat him.
it's probably a duck.
The duck is great in this deck too because it's like that's probably the number 1 card to be abused by Avar because it has 2 force activations on it, and Avar can just always have the force. So like that's another card when I was talking about Avar just can endlessly generate advantage. That's another one. That's another effective draw too. So if you're playing this do or do not Kiadi Mundi, you have 9 cards that say draw 2 effectively.
Yeah.
And that's just as long as they can maintain board presence, that's an absolute nightmare for the villainous.
There's another
deck.
Conehead. That's
Yep. So another Conehead lets me draw 2 more cards. Kind of nice. Hoping that maybe he trades in with Darth Tyrannus or something. I do feel like I'm in a pretty bad position because they have the board. Darth Tyrannus was kind of a nightmare for me. The 4/3 ambush shielded was a pretty big deal.
Another
also
cone.
another foil prestige Conehead.
What is this minus on the blue leader here? Is this a plus or a minus? What
It's
is
minus from Talzin leader.
Okay, did he It
he
was on there
activated.
last turn. He did it again this turn.
Yeah, I think he's just using it as a soft pass.
Okay.
So I force throw him because I'm like, he's probably got above a 2 cost. And I don't want to defeat Darth Tyrannus, and I want to kind of make his hand a little bit awkward.
And here's our force throw. I don't think we're gonna get.
All right. So he gave me the duck, lets me choose. I feel like Tyrannus is the play here. Because yeah, like Karis can also defeat KTOD Mundi because she's kind of like a 2/4 with her when defeated. But the 4 damage to base mattered more to me than Karis.
Oh, and there's the duck. He is the duck.
I guess the tall.
And the duck will explode the Dooku. Let's see if was it a bait? Does he have another one? Was this a trick? He's actually got another one to throw the Crate Dragon at him. I know he's tapped out.
So this could be a teachable moment. Should I have passed? Because I had Force Throw Crate Dragon in hand. So I could have passed, but then he had all of his resources. So I just felt like it wasn't great. Defeat something on board. He could also just be like, all right, I'm just going to play something and hold Talzin, flipper on 6 because I have board and I don't need the pressure. So, yeah, I felt like just getting rid of something, forcing him to deal 3, like take 3 back from KTOD on Talzin was the right move. I think I'm in a bad position regardless. So we'll see.
Is he tapped out? I can't tell.
No, he has. Ryan has all his resources. He's just
No.
clearing the board here. The
Avar
Avar.
player.
The Avar is it played KTOD
Yeah,
and
okay.
Force Throw on 5.
I could.
Although, it kind of bugs me. They know Ryan DeCrissi. Like, I get it. They know him. He's secret. Like, they're friends. My name is literally on stream. I'm not the Avar player. Call me Mo. Oh my god. All right, it doesn't matter. It's just giving them a hard time. I think Ian and Alex. Like, I'm kind of messing around. They did a great job. I'm gonna keep messing with them, but they did a great job.
Yeah. Do we have another force throw in that hand? I want to know.
I think there's a couple Sorcerer's Blasts.
Yeah. I only saw 1 force throw this game. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I can't tell. These red 1-cost spells all look the same.
All right. Somebody needs to cancel Alex like right now for that comment.
This was just a really slow start from the Avar player. Like having to play a blue leader in space, not even ambushing anything on the 3 resource turn is not what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world here, but we might need like is there maybe timelies in this deck that can get us back here? I see as a Poe in hand, so a timely Poe would be just what the doctor ordered here. We could get rid of that. We could definitely get rid of this Talzin, and we could even take a card from.
You see, I have all 3 freaking Crate Dragons in. Not ideal, right? You like to see your Crate Dragons, but man, just 3 of them this early on feels pretty rough.
From his hand. Oh, that is a timely. Okay, wait. Oh, and there it is. That's the timely. Are we gonna see the Poe?
Yeah, is that all 3 crates in his hands?
It is all 3 crates in my. It didn't feel great.
I think he's got 2. Yeah, and this is where leveraging your card advantage is so big, because now this Talzin player or this Avar player can easily discard 1 just to make the Talzin player discard. I see no reason not to. Don't throw the crate. Don't do that.
All right. So Alex is saying don't throw the crate. I have 3, so I'm throwing the freaking crate at him.
No. Throw that 2/2 in your hand. Oh, I don't know.
So the 2/2 in my hand is Infused Brawler, and it is an Avar Kriss activation. So next round is 7 resources. I will be able to tap Avar this turn to get the Force token, and then tap Avar next turn to get the Force token. So that means if I have 1 more Force activation, I can flip Avar Kriss. And that is what I'm trying to do. And by throwing the Crate Dragon, I have 2 of them. I see no way where I'm going to need 3 Crate Dragons in this game. I might need 2, but 3 is a no-no.
I might have kept that. I think so.
He's got multiple crates in hand, dude. I think he has all 3.
Nope, all 3. Keep them all. Just Crate Dragon. Oh, you power the Dark Side Crate Dragon. Oh, you power the Dark Side Crate Dragon. Have all 3. No, but I think what he actually is going for here is he's saving his 2/2 there to use the Force. He's going to try to push for an early Avar flip here. I think that's why he's pitching the Crate Dragon, and he might have all 3. That's another reason potentially.
Hmm.
So the
I mean,
Avar
this
player
Karis
really
is going to be
push.
able to clean up the Poe.
Yeah, dude, Karis is insane. Like, Karis has been a menace this whole game. We're on what, turn 5 at this point. I don't think any of us has like hit true ramp, and it was her turn 1 play. So she has been an absolute nightmare and absolute menace all game. He gets to take out Poe. Yeah, just great turn 1 play by
Right, with the on death -2.
The problem is it's going to leave him without the Force right now. So if he has a Dooku or a Talzin's Assassin in hand, he's not going to be able to follow up well with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's only got 2 cards in hand. I think one of them's a Vader. Yeah.
So this is actually where, and we're gonna get to it at the end of the video. I think I might like. So I don't run pillages, and again, pillages were just in the sideboard the day before this tournament. I took them out because I wanted to try out the daughter into aggro matchups. It actually did work against aggro. But pillages here would be really good because I could pillage my opponent, and then he's in top deck mode. And if he's in top deck mode and he top decks a great card, well, good on him. But I want you to be in top deck mode. So pillages, I think, are a card that I'm highly, highly considering, and most likely in the next iteration of the deck, they're coming in.
And there's the Vader. He's just gonna 5/6 shielded for 6 ain't too shabby though.
Nope. Especially because I feel like he might not be ahead, right? Because I still have my leader. And shields are a big issue for Avar specifically. The best way for me to get around shields is sorcerer. So Sorceress Blast on the next turn would be nice, but actually, sorry, I take that back. Yes, Sorceress Blast. And this is another learning moment. So I'm gonna do another learning moment off hack here. I think in the future against blue like ECL villains, you want to save like a timely Poe for the Vader flip or for the Vader play, because a timely Poe, you pitch 1 card to defeat the shield, ambush in, and then Poe's alive as a 6/1, and Vader's defeated. So that is a really clean way, and it comes out on the same turn since Poe's a 5 cost, Vader is a 6 cost, so you could timely Poe from hand. So I think that is something going forward I'm going to try and keep in mind in my back pocket. I didn't think about it till my drive home, where I'm like, man, I timely Poe'd the turn before, which was good, right? Timely Poe to defeat Mother Talzin and have a big thing on board, but getting killed by Karis was bad. But timely Poe into Vader is really good because it defeats Vader, leaving Poe behind. Like right here, full turn Poe, or whole turn Vader, he doesn't have the Force. Hit him with a Poe. I got a 6/1. Doesn't have the Force to -1/-1 my Poe easily. Feels kind of good.
Or not, that's a pretty solid line.
I mean, it's a desperation Vader. Let's call it what it is. This is I need a Force unit, and I need a unit in general.
I already got my one criticism of the day. I didn't like the Crate Dragon discard, but we'll see here. I think
I get why you don't like it, but again, you don't need all 3, and I had all 3 in hand.
I think we're gonna push. I think we're gonna push for the flip here. If I had to guess, that's why he saved that 2 cost there. Yep, and we can see it right there. So you're gonna push for the flip.
So unfortunately, I believe that card on the left is Mace Windu and not Ki-Adi Mundi. So, and I drew Eth Koth. So I believe right here I can't get the flip off, which is what I was trying to do anyway. So I don't think I actually get the flip off this turn.
Maybe it looks like
maybe Mace to take off the shield.
Is that Eth Koth or Mace at the end of his hand? I'm trying to figure it out.
I think it's Mace, but it looks like we're gonna get the Brawler.
So are we pushing for the flip here? Oh, and the Talzin player is just taking the aggro. No,
He definitely has an Eth Koth in hand.
So he's got the E. Okay.
Activation plus Sorcerer's Blast would let him flip. He doesn't have it.
Doesn't look like
Yeah, so I don't have it. I claim there. It was kind of risky to play Ethkoth, but without the force, because he could have just defeated it, and I don't ramp. But my hand was super awkward.
I think he resourced.
I think right here is a big turning point in the game. If I drew a do or do not, if I drew a Sorcerer's Blast, if I drew, hell, even a Yoda's lightsaber would have been good right here. I could have flipped Avar, attacked into Chirrut, and then I would have, you know, like two big units on the board. Which I still do, but Avar would be out. It would have been really nice to have Avar out right now. Sorcerer's Blast would have been good. I think I just pulled one in my hand right there. That's either Sorcerer's Blast or it's Force Throw. But Sorcerer's Blast would have been the ideal card because I could have still played Ethkoth. So imagine Avar Kriss on this board, no Chirrut.
First one of the Sorcerer's Blast.
No, he
And
just
is that
drew
the
another
Force
one.
Lightning? Is that Force Lightning? Or
He just drew Sorcerer's Blast. I don't know what the card under it is.
Okay, that's like
Card
I
under
said,
it, maybe Bendu.
It is not Bendu. I don't remember what it is, but I know it's not Bendu because I don't run Bendus.
all red 1-cost cards look the same to me.
Bro, somebody needs to cancel Alex right now.
Fair enough.
They all have the same art. There's some evil villain guy doing something. And it's going to be rough here. So the Talzin flip should be online here. He's going to have to whack the turret. Use the force. He'll regain the force. He'll have to whack the turret again. And he also can't get this Ethkoth off the board, so he's not going to be able to get this early flip. Unless he has another force card in hand.
I mean, he has the Sorcerer's Blast for sure. Unless he did he resource it?
Is that a force throw at the end there?
It is indeed Force Throw.
Let's see what he's
And
got. Is it
yeah,
Mace? Yeah, I think it's Mace. Yeah.
We got the mace. That'll get us our early flip here.
And kill the oh, he's taking the shield off. Interesting.
Taking the shield off. Yeah, because Avar is going to have to play cleanup crew here. So he's going to kill the turret with the 4/4 and then have Avar run over the Vader.
I don't know if that's going to be good enough though. He's 5 damage away from lethal.
This actually, I think if he does it the other way around, he gets more spillover damage because that 4/4 still dies hitting turret.
At the point, I wasn't worried about spillover damage. What I was thinking is, pop the shield. I just want Avar to defeat this Vader. But the next Chirrut is really rough.
Because it loses the coin. So I think he would have got more spillover damage the other way.
So I did make a crucial mistake here. I forced through my opponent, and I actually should have forced through the Crate Dragon out of my own hand. As soon as I played it, and I knew I should have forced through myself. Reason being, what I could have done, forced through the Crate Dragon, defeated the Darth Vader, flipped Avar, ran over the Chirrut, cleared board. I would have 5 damage away, but like they don't really have anything that they could play to put me in lethal. And I think it would have been 1 overwhelm, so he'd have 7 damage on base. He'd have 7 damage. I'd have 23, but I'd have 11, 19 damage. So 7 plus 19, 26. If I drew a Yoda's lightsaber, it's GG's. So definitely misplayed there, like 100% misplayed. Especially because I could also put Crate Dragon down, and if he tried to play any card, then I win. So force throwing myself, definitely the right move. Misplayed here by force throwing my opponent. My opponent, like, listen, my opponent played smart. I figured I got tunnel visioned and was like, man, he's got 1 card in hand. It's probably really juicy. It could be a really big game ender. But if you look at it, right, so he's got a 4/4 Talzin's Assassin. So at the end of all this, if I force through myself, he plays Talzin's Assassin, and I'm 1 damage away from lethal. So It could be GG's if I drew Yoda's lightsaber, but I didn't, and it's definitely 100% my fault. Like I could have, or I throw the crate dragon down, right, and then if I throw the crate dragon down, and then trade with like ETH Koth. So force throwing myself probably actually wins me this game. I forced through my opponent because I tunnel visioned. Um, so that's completely on me. You probably should, right? Because like I should have thought like he has one card left. I was like, okay, well I want him to top deck. Well, he's top decking anyway. He's only got 4 resources, so it's not something crazy. And I clear his board. Whatever he has, And if he top decks Super Laser, like if he top decks something great into me, then it is what it is, right? So I lose this game because I forced through my opponent and not myself. This is a teachable moment. Wasn't thinking clearly. I should have just decided to force through myself. I think I win. I literally think I win. It might not look like it, but I think I win by force throwing myself.
Ooh, that force throw is not good enough. I think that's GG.
I think he was supposed to force for himself there and just toss that
I
last
agree, just so you don't lose.
Now he's just clocked.
Yeah, the
really
Talzin
bet it
player
all.
can claim. And yeah, he just scoops. I think he realized immediately that he should have. I think it was because it's the last card in hand, dude. It's so juicy when you get the last card, but you can't rely on your opponent having like a 5 cost in hand.
Yeah, 100%. 100% right. Should have forced through myself, especially because I had a big hand. I had Crate Dragon. I had 2 Crate Dragons in hand. Like you force through the Crate Dragon, and then you play another Crate Dragon on the next turn. So definitely throw by me. Let's see if I can make up for it. But before I'm gonna stop the recording, just because, in case my computer dies again. Okay, so we're right where we left off with the cut. Just in case my computer died, it didn't corrupt the save file, so I didn't want to have to go through that again. So we're on to game 3. I just kind of choked away game 2.
And you're gonna see that.
But I initially thought like, okay, well, force throwing myself didn't lose me the game because I would have only been at 1 HP on the next turn because he would have swung with Thousands Assassin. But you know, looking back on it, it may have actually legit lost me the game because play Crate Dragon, board would be clear, could start overwhelming through him to deal more damage. If I drew Constructed Lightsaber or Yoda's Lightsaber, it's a buff. Crate Dragons also deal extra damage. So if he swings with Thousands Assassins, then you just clear the Thousands Assassins with something like ETH Koth or maybe actually Mace Windu. And then you have 13 extra damage. You play your Crate Dragon out, and if they play anything big, then you deal 2 damage, or you deal like the damage. So definitely a throw by me.
I do it sometimes myself in playtesting, maybe not in a situation like this, but I think you'll see this a lot in Galactics, where people are going to tank and go, do I take this greedy force throw where I can have my cake and eat it too, I can get the card out of their hand, and I can kill their guy, or do I just take the safe route and toss my Crate Dragon or Yoda or Luke Skywalker or whatever they have going on and just make sure I get the guy off the board? And I think
Feels so riskless from the Avar player there, though, right? Because like you had at least one other card in hand, and your opponent only had 4 resources up, so they're not playing a 5+ card this turn. But you get to clear their board, and you'll have like 3 or 4 units. Like, just take that.
I agree here. This was a.
Was that a constructed lightsaber and a Yoda's lightsaber?
Easy decision.
Yo, this guy's heavy on the upgrades too. It'll be interesting to see if he just gets powered out of the game. Well, it looks like he's shipping this, but
yeah, I mean, I think I had 2 Yodas and a constructed. Like half my hand is lights.
I actually like Yoda's lightsaber in this deck because it's another one of those cheap cards that just lets you, again, talking about stringing together all these like Sorcerer's Blast, the 2/2 that becomes a 4/4, the Yoda's lightsaber. You just like string all these cards together in one turn, and all of a sudden you have a 6 resource flip Avar. But again, I think that's a bit of a pipe dream, especially.
This is a little bit of foreshadowing, I believe.
When you're playing against a force throw deck that's going to try to pinch your
Mhm.
hand a lot more, but maybe against a deck like this where they don't have force throw, it's a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Avar player, I think, crisscrossed his deck when he
Listen, I'm not that smart, okay?
shuffled because he had to flip all his cards,
And we have a
or
Georgie
most of
not
them.
there.
There's
That's
also the Brawler for turn 1. Just get started with a 4/4. Just gets answered by this. This is the only problem with Avar activating on turn 1 is that you'll never have initiative, and like playing this 4/4 into a Karis just feels like such a
Feels awful.
loss immediately.
I don't see like I think I said at the start of this match, oh, the Talisman player just wants the game to go longer, right? But the more I've seen of this, I'm starting to wonder maybe the Avar player wants the game to go longer because there's just
Yeah,
so
I think
much
that's the
draw on
case.
this deck. There's
This is
so
crazy that he
much.
didn't just hit into the
Did
Brawler,
trade?
but I don't know. Yeah, he didn't trade. He
Neither of
just
these
went base.
players want to trade. Oh my god.
Listen, you gotta get 0 damage on base, okay? That's the whole point of the game. No, so I believe, like I said a couple times, I want to push 4, 8, 12 damage on base early, so that way big swings later on.
This looks like a force aggro deck now.
I think there's a constructed lightsaber in hand too.
So that's where Sorcerer's Blast would have been good. Sorcerer's Blast would have been
Juicy.
clutch here. Yeah, because if
Yeah,
we could
just
have
kill
blown
the
that
Kylo.
Kylo up, yeah, that would have been pretty good. Surprised.
So I do have Sorcerer's Blast in hand here. So I could have so looking back on it here, I could have popped Kylo and it would have been like kind of the smart play because you pop Kylo, and now they have a 2/4 and you have 3 resources up. I don't I definitely have constructed lightsaber in hand. So you could have gone Sorcerer's Blast, constructed lightsaber, have a sentinel that's a like let's just call it a 4/5 sentinel, um, which wouldn't be defeated by Karis. Board would be clear, so probably Sorcerer's Blast here would have been the move.
He just
Plays
drew.
I don't do it.
I think that you just need that many force units on turn 1 to just, when you're on the play, guarantee that you get an attack off. It's hard when your leader requires you to use the force, right?
So this is a good play by my opponent. Makes it so this decided if I was going base or not. I still could have traded my brawler into the Kylo. I could have traded the brawler that just got -1/-1 into the Kylo because he would have survived afterwards, I believe. No, I think he gets defeated because the -1/-1 losing experience. Yeah. So like the -1/-1 here actually makes it so the trades aren't that good for me. And he kind of gets good trades after I attack into base. So kind of what I'm hoping here is I push damage and then start defeating their stuff. Still probably should have Sorceress Blast the Kylo here because then I lose one of my units and they still have Paris up, but I still get to push less damage into base and manage the board a little bit more.
Minusing the 4/4 so that Karis can't die.
This is interesting. Is he gonna just keep going for this aggro strategy?
I
I
think
bet
the
he
Avar player should at this point.
just committed to the bit.
I mean, he has a Sorcerer Blast now to kill the Kylo if he wants.
We're gonna make the trade here.
Nope, going to base.
Nope, we are committed to the bit. He decided the only way to win this was right to the dome. Now the Kylo's just gonna take a value trade here.
Yep.
Yeah, probably should have definitely Sorceress Blasted first. That's 100% on me. Like boneheaded play. Because you Sorceress Blast here doesn't make this trade juicy. Makes him use, some form of removal to start dealing with my stuff. And I probably end up putting like 3 less damage into base.
I mean, he's gonna get value traded out. So it seems like the Avar player has decided that he's the beatdown, but I'm not sure that's the case here.
Yeah, kind of agree. Just like I said, trying to put like a healthy amount of damage on base, right? 10, 11, 9 damage on base is like a magic number, and then you start managing the board. Still could have probably done that a little bit better with defeating the Kylo, but alas, I'm not that smart.
Well, I mean, in for a penny, right? You got to keep going face.
Yeah, I mean at this point, but maybe that's a sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you there, Ian. I think this is a little. I think this is a
Well,
little.
the force is online for the ETH Koth, so can't really. I mean, you can power this; it just feels bad. Yeah, it's like you kind of have to.
So I want to say this is actually a really, really good play by my opponent. They do talk about it a little bit, but essentially by them powering the ETH Koth, they are not defeating him next turn. Sorry, that was my discard, not yours. Is on the next, like it negates the +1 force activation for Avar Kriss. So next turn I could have attacked with ETH Koth, traded him out, flipped to, I think I would be at 6 or 7 resources next turn with a force activation. So all I would need is one more force activation. Avar comes out, and it's just pretty much overrunning the game. So power here, really, really good by my opponent.
You play, but also I don't want to ramp you play, but I
ETH
have
Koth is
to.
actually the #1 setup card for Avar because, like, if you have it on 5R or even 6R, you're just like, okay, I'll get the extra resource and the force activation. So you're effectively getting a double force activation with one unit. And because it's a card that you've already paid mana for or resources for, you're not actually spending anything. So it's like one of the best cards to actually get Avar out early. And so I actually don't think it was the worst line here to actually take this off the board, because if you leave it on the board, yes, he has one less resource next turn, but he effectively gets 2 force activations, and it might even put him in line to actually flip this Avar on his turn right here.
You think on 6?
Yeah, because he could. So if he's able to trade, he can trade your 2/4 for free, and then you're forced to not activate to kill it. So you either leave the body on the board or you activate and kill it. You get to 6. That's one activation of the force. Now he's got 5 resources, and he only has to activate the force twice more.
Yeah,
So if he had
you don't have
played,
a unit that.
Listen, again, just saying, we're gonna talk about force throw. I want the the criticism for overwhelming barrage needs to be just as loud as force throw.
That can attack to get it back. How are you gonna do it?
Okay, I apologize. My Discord is absolutely popping off.
oh, I guess that's true. Actually, yeah, you can't because you don't have because you would have to use Avar. No, I guess that's true. You don't actually have a way. You don't have a way to actually get it again. So yeah, maybe that's true. There's not really a way to keep it online. Although I guess you could just first action, you already have the force. You just first action use the force. Then you attack with the ETH Koth. He gains the force back. He activates it, and then you play whatever your second card is there.
Right, but in this scenario,
Oh, I mean, he
the
removed it.
ETH Koth was already dead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's why I agree with his decision, though.
I'd like to also point out, it's been 3 games. I've dug through my deck. I finally drew a resupply. Like, I was not getting resupplies early at all, and it felt real bad because resupply, like turn 2 resupply, turn 3 resupply, feels really, really good in this deck to get you ahead and start like playing above curve, getting all of your extra. Like, you need a resupply turn 1 or sorry, you need a resupply turn 2 or turn 3 to start being able to start doing like the multi force plays later on. So not getting resupplies early actually was pretty significantly like a real feels bad moment.
Is that
Yeah.
I think it's a
You can't
liability.
let him. You can't let him attack and gain the force with the ETH Koth another time or something like that. Yeah. I mean, the Avar player has got a lot of cards in hand, but the board has gone away from him, and not sure if he's going to be able to come back to this.
Mm, We're
Doing
gaining
the
the
Avar thing.
force. Yep, doing the Avar thing. We're on 7, so I'd like to imagine we have some plan to get this Avar out.
I
and
don't know
going
how.
here.
There's a couple ways, and I think they forgot because I haven't been playing it. Resupply it counts, and but you could also timely a force unit. So like if you timely KTOD Mundi, timely KTOD hits the board, you use the force, then you attack and you get the force, and then you can play do or do not. So timely resupply would be the 2 plans.
He's just gonna draw more cards. This seems terrible. You need to get units out to attack to get the force and use the
I'd also like to say I have resupply in hand. I don't top deck it.
force multiple times.
This is a weird game plan switch here. We went from full aggro to draw cards. I'm not sure I quite follow, but
I think he just he knew that no matter what he did, like the experience on those brawlers fall off every time you deal damage. So he wouldn't have been able to trade effectively anyways. But the problem is you just let your opponent do so much extra value trading by not. Oh, okay. He's got the resupply, so now he can flip Avar.
So I mean,
I stand corrected. He knew to draw to get that resupply.
Already had the resupply. Okay, it wasn't a top deck. I want to put the fake news, Ian. You are fake news. I had the resupply. It was all planned.
I mean, we're just 2 force throws away from greatness. I mean,
listen, as right as you are, I would have loved to see force throw this game.
Talk about the meta in a nutshell. All we need to do is force throw our opponent twice, and we'll win here. And out comes Miss 10 herself. Oh my god. Avar player is going to need a Superlaser Blast of his own here.
Yeah, I don't think that's happened. Debating using the force to save 2 extra health. He does. So he will take 3 back. Oh no, 1 back instead of 3. I mean, the Avar is definitely a problem that needs to be dealt with, but you have enough things on the board to just kind of whittle away at her, I think. Oh, there's a Yoda.
Yeah, I see a Yoda.
Oh,
that's a card that actually gets us.
So I want to actually talk about something here. Currently, I'm debating. Now I don't remember what my opponent does at this point, but overwhelming barrage for 7 is something that I've been considering including. And I forget if Avar sticks, but if Avar sticks, right? Overwhelming barrage would be 10. So I could do 1 to Kylo, 2 to Karis, and 7 to Mother Talzin. Basically completely wipe the board and have a 10-10 left over. And I could even still force throw, technically. So overwhelming barrage could be something to look at here.
Oops. Back in here, because what we can actually do is we can play that Yoda. We can kill something. And if the Talzin player can't immediately remove Yoda, he can then activate the Jedi Consular. He can attack with Avar, gain the force back, and then use the Jedi Consular and use the force again and just start cleaning up.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that after this Yoda comes out, that the Talzin player will immediately kill the Consular. Or something. Or kill something. Try to kill something.
So I don't play Yoda first. The reason why is it doesn't kill the Talzin, which is what I'm kind of worried about. So I probably could have played Yoda first and defeated something for 6. I got a little greedy, but I probably should have played Yoda.
I mean, if not the Yoda itself.
I do swing Avar Kriss here first because I'm just trying to defeat their leader so I don't get any more shrinks. And just shutting her off is good.
I'm sure there's a no glory.
The Talzin gets it in one crack because it'll shrink it.
The other problem is if they rivals fall, it really hurts. So you get the 8 damage, you get the 1 overwhelm, and then you still play Yoda, and basically Yoda himself deals 2 damage. So I can defeat Karis right now with just Yoda. So if he clears my board, it doesn't matter. So I need to take care of the Mother Talzin, so I'm going to swing first.
And then it'll hit it for 3. So the Talzin can just run it over if he really needs to. I mean, Decreasy's got all the time in the world here. He's got all these units on board. He's got so much damage leverage right now. He's up 4. Yep, and we're not even going to get to that point. He's just going to say, you know what,
And also now that Talzin is alone on board, Power of the Dark Side is looming very large. So we just swing here. Because if they power me, at least I got to defeat Mother Talzin.
Not gonna let you summon whatever massive unit you've got in hand.
Some Eldritch Horror.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you still slam the Yoda, right? You just kill
two
kill
Yodas
one of
in
the
hand.
2 drops.
And,
Oh, don't attack first.
No, I think killing the Talzin here is fine. It's
You
unlikely
can
you're
still
gonna
do
lose
that. Now you lose to power.
No, but that's none of these guys have any HP. The Yoda's gonna kill them anyways. He only needs 1 unit for the Yoda now.
I guess.
Might as
That's
well.
true.
I actually agree with killing this Talzin here. I think that's fine because he did it right. Because if he had played the Yoda, then he would have been forced to sacrifice either Yoda or Talzin. Whereas here you can just take the trade. And this Talzin player is going to have to start coming up with some Avengers or some Devastators or maybe a Vader Timely because this Yoda is going to get out of hand here.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
He's fortunate his opponent doesn't have the Force right now, so he can't first action take out another unit with a Force activation. But man, this is like the single best card that Avar can have on their board at this point in the game.
People in chat figuring out how the
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna let Ian continue here.
Works.
So a lot of people in the chat were saying like, whoa, buddy, Avar Kriss person is cheating here because Avar Kriss, the 8 attack comes after she attacks. So I just want to point out, if you're running the red base or like the 28 HP base, any color, not just red, any color, you get the force the same timing as the on attack trigger. So like think about it just like Poe. On attack triggers hit first, so you can pitch your card to Vita Shield so Poe can attack. Same thing with Avar. The Overwhelm and the +4 go on her attack. So if you get a swing with Avar, no matter what, she's an 8-10.
And let's see what the Avar players got cooking here.
There's a Poe, another Jedi Counselor, a Yoda, a Timely, I think. No, it's not a Timely.
It's not Timely. It's a Yoda's lightsaber. Timely here would have been lit, let me tell you.
Some green card, and then I think 2 red events.
Is this
Maybe a
Yoda?
Force throw.
Is this Yoda attacking right now? Is that what's going on? Or are we thinking about
I don't think
resources?
he's untapped. Yeah, I don't think he untapped his resources yet.
Thinking about resources. And we've got he's got initiative, so his first action here, I imagine, is just, I don't know, if I have this Yoda, my first action might be to...
And Timely does go crazy.
Just clean up the board as much as possible. This is going to be the Poe.
Okay, so I think this was a really, really good play because I think he only has 2 cards in. I forget how many cards my opponent has in hand. But basically, I said, Timely, I have a ton of cards. I think I have 6 cards after this in hand. If I can pitch 3 other cards and essentially Timely into Kylo, defeat the shield, deal 2 damage to the one dude here. So I have a Yoda, I have a Poe, and kind of hopefully have the board. I have another Yoda in hand. I'm pretty sure I have a Crate Dragon in hand. So, this was like clear the board. If he doesn't have an answer, game kind of gets taken over here.
The Poe's going to clean up both of these units if he so desires. He's going to have to lose 2 cards in hand to do that, but I don't think that's actually all that big of a trade-off when you've just been drawing cards the entire game. Looks like we dropped a card. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. This is from Row. And are we going to pitch the 2 here?
We are pitching 3. Okay, so I'm going to let them talk, but I've got it. So I pitched Jedi Consular, Sorceress Blast, and Yoda's lightsaber.
Oh, we're going to pitch all 3. Oh,
man.
Hoo-wee.
So, if you look, I'm going to back up here. He has 3 cards in hand. His hand's in the space arena there. So I was thinking, okay, here's the plan. I haven't seen a single Force throw this game. We're in the bottom half of the deck. I don't know how many extra cards I've drawn. I think I've drawn maybe 4 extra cards. We're on turn 7. So you see 6, plus 14, 20, plus. I've seen half my deck, over half my deck. So, like, force throws got it. I have 3 left in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to thin out their hand. So when I draw a force throw, it tightens them up a little.
2 here. Oh, we're gonna pitch all 3. Oh,
Man.
hoo-wee. This man just discarded half of his hand. How many cards does he have left after that? I'm curious.
I think 1. No, 2 somehow.
2. Yeah, I mean he was drawing cards this game.
I think in my hand I have ETH Koth and a Do or Do Not. So the plan here is activate Avar, Do or Do Not, draw 2 cards. Hopefully one's a force throw, and bing, bang, boom, Bob's your uncle. And again, Yoda's Lightsaber, Sorcerer's Blast, Jedi Consular. They're going to say that I pitched Timely Intervention. That's fake news. I did not pitch Timely Intervention. I would never pitch. Listen, I'm a psycho. I'm not that crazy, okay? I didn't pitch Timely. They're going to talk about it as if I did. If I did pitch Timely, I think I should sell my collection because Timely is insane. And having them discard a card is not as good as, obviously, Timely Intervention. But Jedi Consular at this point, Yoda's Lightsaber at this point, and Sorcerer's Blast at this point, I think having him discard a card to bring him down to 2 cards in hand for when I eventually draw a force throw is pretty good. Also, could have another thing that could have happened here is maybe I should just run Pillage, because a Pillage on the next turn, like taking out their hand, would also be pretty good.
A lot. So I mean, it's not. Oh, and we got a Timely from the other side. That's the Vader. That's going to clean up both if so. Yeah, you hate to see it.
His Timely was way better than my Timely.
Rough.
That is, yeah, that is going to be something pretty hard to come back. But the Avar player still has a Yoda in his hand, so.
Yeah, and so, like, a Timely Intervention on the next turn here, like, if I had Timely Yoda defeats this Vader and probably puts me back in the game because I'd be at 9 damage. They'd be at 12. Board would be clear. I have Crate Dragons. Like, definitely Timely here would be good. I only run 2 because I cut it back because I'm like, Timely can't be that good. Timely's that good. I'm 100% bumping it up to 3. In literally almost every game, I was like, dude, Timely would go so hard here. So Timely is definitely getting bumped up to 3.
Oh, and we're gonna draw
some more cards. I think he just.
So right, they're gonna kind of laugh at me, which is fine. But I'm digging specifically for one of my 3 force throws or my other Timely Intervention. If I have 4 cards in like 22 cards left in my deck that I want to hit, it's literally 20% of my deck is what I'm like. I have a 20% chance of hitting a card in this. Any card in this the rest of my deck.
Said
here.
I fucking love this card and waved the card out.
I do love it. I fucking love Do or Do Not, brother. In Avar Kriss, Do or Do Not feels so good.
Opponent.
I actually, that was a card when I was in my short stint with Avar Red. That was a card I played. I thought that card was great.
Listen, Alex is based. I won't hear any detractors.
That, the duck.
I think in Avar specifically it makes sense, but
all right, Ian's trying to get a little bit of based cred here.
I would rather just play a KTOD Mundi every time.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't be.
Listen, but you can only run 3 KTOD Mundis. So imagine, hear me out, okay? Like, let me hit you with a poor man's KTOD Mundi. You go, Do or Do Not to draw 2 cards into a Use the Force infused brawler. It's just KTOD Mundi with extra steps. All right. So, listen, we can build KTOD Mundi in aggregate between the cards. Like you gotta think about these things, brother. But no, Do or Do Not is definitely not as good as KTOD Mundi. But digging for your force throws, for your resupplies, for your other force cards is just good.
Don't hedge, but doesn't seem like that's an option. So let's see what we've got. Can we get a Timely Yoda maybe? Timely Yoda will actually get us through this.
Timely Yoda doesn't get me through it anymore with the turret. I think they're a little bit delayed.
This turret here.
Timely Yoda does not get through the turret because oh no, I think it does. Yeah, Timely Yoda definitely does get through the turret. I'm a moron. But I don't have Timely, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, he discarded a timely, but
I didn't discard a Timely. This is fake news, Ian. Fake news.
he might have one in a row.
He discarded a timely from his hand.
No, I'm not crazy. Listen, I understand you guys think I'm crazy. I'm not that crazy.
From the Poe attack.
Whoa.
You can literally see the cards right there, brother. It's a Yoda.
Okay. Oh, and there's the draw.
This guy's gonna deck.
And you better hope your
He's
opponent doesn't have vigilant.
He's drawn like 10 cards. I would like to cast Ancestral Recall multiple times on myself.
I don't know what is going on here.
People are
Avar
arguing,
cards.
and people are arguing in chat about how the force base works with Avar. If Avar gets her buff when she attacks, if you have the force base, the answer is yes. You get the buff.
Yes.
Yeah, I was cooked here because Timely would have been good, but alas, don't really have it. So, we're just kind of cooked. There's not much I can do against like the Vader ECL or sorry, Timely Ambush Vader. Kind of cooked me. If I had a second Timely in response, would have been good. But just goes to show Timely Poe into like hold Timely Poe for Vader specifically in this matchup. Something I need to internalize going forward. You know, Timely Poe into Vader, Timely Poe into Vader.
It's a continuous ability.
Well, some people were saying that you needed to resolve the attack in order to get the force from the base, which is not true. It's on attack.
Yeah, the game
It is same timing as on attack timing.
does distinguish between those two things. Some cards say when an attack is completed. Some cards say when this card attacks. And the force base is not when an attack is completed. It is just when a force unit attack. So that timing is fulfilled before combat actually occurs.
All right, what is Talzin going to do here? There's a lot of stuff on the board on his side. Probably wants to preserve this Vader and cheer it as much as possible.
Another overwhelming barrage. Listen, I'm just saying.
And so we're threatening lethal right now. And this Avar deck's only real, we're gonna get in the force here. The Avar deck's only real form of removal is for big things is like Yoda. So we're gonna have to run another Yoda out here and hope it sticks.
Yeah, at 26 right now, this the Sage is lethal. So we're gonna need a Yoda or something. And it does look like a Yoda. So we'll heal 5, probably do 2 damage to take off the shield. Nope, just gonna do 2 to
No,
Vader.
I think yeah, we have to
so that
Vader
Yoda
first
can clean
action.
it next turn. Yeah.
And do we have a power? Nope, we have a.
He can't play that. Yeah. Oh, he meant to play the power. All my ability cards, so they're all.
Man pulled the wrong gun, but nah, it does the same thing in this instance. Great play, holding the removal, pretty good.
All the same.
I think that's the third power too here. So.
Yep.
It's looking rough for the 8.
So reason why the consular play still have not seen a single force throw. So basically consular turns on force throw, turns on force lightnings. That's the reason why he's out there. Because I think, what am I at? 21, 23. So currently not at lethal with the Sage. So if I draw force throw, I can force throw myself, defeat the Vader, and like live another day.
Our player here. So we are.
Vader is now lethal.
Yep, Vader. We are a Vader attack away from death.
And I just would like to say, I've said, I think Power of the Dark Side, Overwhelming Barrage, same power level as Force Throw. He's hit me with at least 2 Overwhelming Barrages, and I think all 3 powers this game. And I haven't hit him with a single Force Throw. So who's playing busted cards? Not me. You will never catch me playing a busted card.
Can we do it? So Blue Leader will keep us alive. What else keeps us alive?
timely
third
anything
Yoda.
pretty much.
Yeah, timely Yoda would go really hard here because you on attack triggers, so you can stick the Yoda, attack with Yoda, defeat the Vader, and then you get the Force, and then you can do the Wind Plate Force activation to heal 5 and then deal the 2 damage, or like the 4 damage in this case, to the Secret of Sage, popping the shield. So timely Yoda would probably be the best thing I could do here. I could timely another Poe, which would hit the Vader, defeat the Secret of Sage by pitching 2. But alas, no timely.
Anything, a third Yoda will keep us alive. An open fire would keep us alive.
Looks like there's a
I do think I sideboarded out the open fires for the constructeds. Looking back, keeping the open fires, not putting in the constructeds.
crate in hand, but that
Also, no Force Lightnings in this matchup because they didn't have any stuff. So open fires would have been good here.
is. a
Oh,
little too
timely
late.
crate. Timely crate. Are we about to see it?
Oh my god, timely crate would be hilarious.
I did timely crate twice. Did not have timely.
There is exactly 11 resources.
But we know the other
He's
player
fishing
now
for the
has-
timely. He's fishing. He's trying to find the timely. Yeah, we know he has the no glory, but it's still a funny play. I think he does not have the timely.
Well, he discarded. I was surprised to see him discard 3. I think 2 is the right number.
I would like to say I discarded 3 and I'm at 5 cards in hand. I didn't discard timely because I'm not crazy, but think about it. I discarded 3 cards that were probably inconsequential in this matchup right now.
I had to just ignore his opponent's hand there, I think, and just.
So I have
You
nothing.
know what? I don't like.
He moved my pitched cards to my discard pile. Listen, brother, you have your deck in space this whole time.
Like, I need to keep this timely to be able to come back and take the board back.
So I play the daughter. I'm cooked. I'm hoping, at this point, only thing I have is if he sees the daughter and he doesn't know how to play into it, so he trades into the daughter, buying me time. I don't have anything else.
What is
Oh,
that?
the daughter. But he doesn't have the force.
though.
Yeah, I don't have the Force. I'm cooked either way.
Maybe he's trying to psych Decreasy out. That's pretty funny.
He's just
asking right now.
pointing at the
He's like, bro, you don't have the Force. Nice try.
Listen, man, it's always worth a shot, okay?
He would die anyways, even if he had the force, because of how the
Correct. Yeah, the damage hits first and then you restore. Correct. Yeah, you need to have at least 1 life left on base for the daughter to actually proc.
the daughter works. Is
Right.
All right, and then you see me digging for my Force threads. So at the end of the day, this tournament actually went pretty okay for me. I went 3-3. First time playing Avar with physical cards. I wanted to see how clunky she felt counting the Force tokens. You didn't see it much here, but counting the Force tokens and all that. So the games went. I played against my friend Brandon. He was on Anakin Blue, the new Anakin Legend of the Force Anakin Blue. Played it more control deck. I went 2-1 into that, so won my first game. Second game, I played against Brandon from Team Sekrit, who was on Han 2. I lost game 1 because I miscounted. So I don't want to say I would have won, because you can't ever say that you're going to win a game. But I could have cleared his board and then pushed 5 damage and then had a bunch of damage left on base to defeat him on the next turn. But I miscounted, thought I had enough damage, did not have enough damage, missed it by 1, lost. Won round 2, lost round 3. So I lost to Team Sekrit Brandon round 2. Round 3, I played Gar Yellow, and my sideboard actually came in really, really handy. And I lost game 1, won game 2 and 3. Game 4 is, what was game 4? Gotta remember. Oh, it was against Thrawn Jump to Lightspeed Yellow, and they had Legacy. They had 2 Legacy runs every game. Went 2-0 into Thrawn Yellow. My deck just has so much big stuff that even Legacy run, yes, it's good, but specifically Sorcerer's Blast is good because for 1 resource, I can defeat Legacy run, clear the board, and not have to play a unit, and then I can stick a unit after. So beat Thrawn Yellow. Lost to Talzin, so another Secret player with Ryan here. Next round, Um, let's see, what did I do? So I'm 3-2 after this game. Get paired into a Sabine and went lost 1-2. So, and I was like one turn away from stabilizing. I had a Yoda in hand. If I play Yoda, I heal 5, kind of get out of range, and probably could have taken it. But they had ECL Poe, ECL Wrecker every game. They had 2 Wreckers. So, and Sabine's the worst matchup, right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh man, I could have won. I mean, like, I'm supposed to lose into Sabine. Probably supposed to lose into Gar Saxon, but I took that out. So, 3-3. I'm actually pretty happy with my performance. I would say 2 of those losses were like the one that you saw here in game 2 with the force throw, and miscounting game 1 of my second round against the other secret player. Clearly misplaced by me that lost me the matches. I feel like the deck performed at a level where it could have gone 5-1, but me let the deck down. The deck didn't let me down, which is actually, in my opinion, a really good place to be in with a deck, because you feel like your deck can handle the games. You just got to play better. So I'm probably sticking with Avar through Galactics. I do have some notes. If you give me a second, sorry, it's going to look a little bit odd because I'm on my phone here. But the notes that I took from today. I think I want pillages in the sideboard. They're really good against blue-green villain, really good against Hantu. And I do believe that Hantus and Kylos are going to be a big part of Galactics. I know I'm down on Kylo. I know Team Secret is pretty high on Kylo. I'm not sure how Bothan Network is. I'm not sure how KTOD is on it. But I know like Wu seemed a little bit down on it, and Thork seemed a little bit down on it. So Kylo was the second most represented leader in this tournament. I'm actually going to, let me see if I can find a, yeah. So this is the tournament results. There was, I think, one Gar Saxon and me and on Avar. But if you look over here on the left, there were 6 Hantus and 4 Kylos. They were most represented. The Anakin numbers are a little bit inflated because it was 2 friends of mine, both on Anakin, because they think it is better. It plays well into Hantu. So this was actually really interesting to see. Like, everybody was trying new stuff in this tournament, which actually felt pretty cool. So anyway, pillage, good against basically 20% of the field, even, Anakin. So if you keep going into not really Palpatine, it's okay into Yoda, but they're cycling a lot. So, against 13 of the 41, 42 decks, pillage would have been good against. I think Daughter goes to the sideboard. It felt really good into Gar Saxon, but it didn't feel good into Sabine because it came out kind of too late. I probably would still sideboard it in against Sabine, but it's specifically like Jedi Consular turn 1 into Daughter turn 2 with like the Force activation would be like the ideal play for her, because then you have a 4/6 that like keeps restoring, so you could heal 2, 4, 6 with her, which is really nice. Bombing runs, I run them main board specifically because if you don't run them main board, I think you just almost automatically lose into Vader. And I don't like going up to a deck and being like, all right, well, this is concede GG's game 1. And I wrote a document that I actually sent to Late Night Loopy, and I can post it in my Discord if it's wanted. But I actually did the math, and I believe if you have a card, so for me, bombing runs would put my win percentage, that's my Discord, not yours, it would put my win percentage at like 26% if it's in the main deck, and only 9% if it's in the sideboard. It's a whole thing. I did a whole bunch of math to it, but I think bombing runs main board give me such a better chance at not auto losing into Vader that they have to be main boarded until the propaganda that is jump to lightspeed Vader is gone away. I think confiscated lightsaber or constructed lightsaber, I called it confiscated lightsaber. Constructed lightsaber, completely out. I like them against like Sabines, and maybe they should stay. But what I like about them into Sabine is you can attach them to a unit, get +2, +3, and restore 2. So against a lot of decks, that's my Discord, not yours. Against a lot of decks, you can attack and restore 2. So it's like a net 4 difference every single swing. And I think that's important. Definitely add the third timely, as you heard me rant about the entire time. The OB1s, the 3/5 shielded, might go main board. They felt really good into Gar. They felt really good into Sabine. Kit Fistos might go main board. So right now, I think the way that my current Avar Kriss list is built, I think it just automatically loses into Kylo. Now, I know that I'm down on Kylo, and, I'm sure everybody's going to sit there and go, haha, I told you so. Currently, the way that my Avar deck is constructed, not sure it can beat Kylo. Kit Fisto's main board would be good, because if they spend their whole turn flipping Kylo, then you just do a 5-cost 4/5, just make Kylo a 5/5, and then you still have 2 resources left over to play like something small, or even like a do or do not, like could be good into Kylo. But I need to find a better silver bullet into Kylo. Hammerheads go main. I think that's just a given. So that means I need to cut 3 to 6 cards, or like 5 to 8, 3 to 6 cards. So that's where I'm at. If you guys have any suggestions, please send them my way. I love Avar Kriss. Gonna try and make this to Galactics and actually make like a pretty decent push. So with that, I hope this was at least enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and see you.